Good morning! Today we got some breakfast via Uber Eats from, was it called First Watch? Mm-hmm. Yeah, from a place called First Watch. It was pretty good. And we are gathering our things and about to summon an Uber. Weather looks very promising today, but I don't have anything else to add to that. Okay, cool. We're excited to go to Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios. It has been a couple weeks since we went and since I last uploaded the previous video, but I think it's just hard for me to sit down and do this and accept that vacation is over. Watching this footage over, I almost tear up because it was such an amazing experience and I'm really sad that it's over. Hard to accept, but we had a lot of fun in Hollywood Studios. First thing we did was Tower of Terror. Alright, we are in line for the Tower of Terror. We decided to do Tower of Terror first because I thought that the ride would only accumulate in wait time throughout the day. However, we ended up waiting pretty much at least that 40 minutes because the ride was having issues while we were in line. A lot of people got out of line even because they didn't want to wait around for it, but we were able to get in there and to get on the ride. And as soon as we got under cover of this roof, it started pouring. Can't really see it that well through the glass pane, but yeah, it started pouring while we were in line out of nowhere. You'll see in a lot of these clips, it's blue skies and the rain was really unpredictable this day. But Tower of Terror was a lot of fun. The wait time did go down throughout the day to 30 minutes. Alright, we just were on the Tower of Terror and now that we're out, the rain is done. I get some coffee and use the bathroom. I like that. That was awesome.
It was actually worth the wait.
It was, yeah, I would say so too. What's Slinky at? The whole park was neat because it did feel like a classic Hollywood movie, as I say in this next clip. It really does feel like a classic movie. Unfortunately, there were several shows and rides closed while we were there, including the Indiana Jones show. That was closed, so we did not get to see that, but I think one of the first things we did was the Muppet 3D Vision.
Whatever.
Tell you this, can't wait to get back and not have to be around this many people. By the third day, I was very irritated with the mass amount of people that were around us constantly. I just wanted to be alone for like 5 minutes, but there's constantly people to walk around and to, I don't know, people would walk in like a straight line across the pathway and just stop randomly. It was so annoying. But we did do the Muppet 3D Vision first, which was neat. It was another one of those shows where it was kind of 4D, you had the glasses, there were the grumpy old men in the balcony were a part of the show, which was neat, and it was really cool. One of the things I like about Disney attractions is that even the waiting rooms are usually entertaining, so this next clip is the room that we were waiting in to go into the theater. Also, my neighbor is moving out right now, so if you hear random upsetting background noises, that is my neighbor's U-Haul and them trying to get all their furniture out.
We are kind of on the wrong side.
But this is our entrance into Galaxy's Edge, which is basically Star Wars land. It was the coolest part of the park. If you are a Star Wars fan, I highly, highly recommend going here sometime in your lifetime because it is an incredible experience like no other. You genuinely feel like you are in the movies. Note the blue skies, by the way. Note how amazing the weather looks, because that will change later on. But this was so cool. We ended up spending most of our day in Galaxy's Edge because it was such a huge part of the park and there was just so much to see. Very many rides and attractions to check out. There's a lot of, what would you call it, spacecraft type planes sitting around. And the one had a photo pass, which we ended up getting a few pictures in front of. I will put those after the clip.
Even the trash cans.
There were a lot of shops too. There was a couple outdoor shops that I zoom in on here, and then later on there was an entire marketplace. So you see the one person in the hood, the blue hood behind this hat guy, and she was the PhotoPass person.
This place is so cool. Look at this.
So we are now about to walk into the marketplace area, which had a ton of shops, so much Star Wars merchandise, very, very cool. One of the activities you can do in Galaxy's Edge is either build a lightsaber or build a droid. Unfortunately, you need to reserve your place months in advance in order to secure a guaranteed time slot in order to do those activities. However, they did have a queue. If you hadn't made a reservation, you could wait in line. I do not know how long those lines were, if it was like a 30-minute or a 2-hour type of line, but Bryant did manage to get a reservation to build a droid at 12:30, so at this point we were mostly buying time, trying to stay in the area until our reservation was upon us. So this was a cool time to check out the shops. We went into several of these. In this next one, you see a creature in a cage, which really added the ambiance. It looked very lifelike. This shop had a lot of the Star Wars creatures in it. I mean, the ambiance is incredible. I tried to zoom in here because you have that creepy creature. Yep, I don't know what it's called, but yeah. So I ended up buying Sabacc for my father, which was basically a card game from Star Wars, and my brother a Boba Fett figure type thing, which I will show you, not in this video, but in my final video that I plan to put together after this of our travel home. I do share it in that video. But yeah, so many cool Star Wars knickknacks, pins, keychains. We have the dice from the Han Solo movie, and the Millennium Falcon, an amazing, amazing sight. Ugh. So there was a ride in the Millennium Falcon. It's called Smuggler's Run. We go on that later, and my advice for you, do the single rider line, because the regular rider line is an hour long. We waited, no, not even 15 minutes to go on as single riders, which is basically you don't get a claim in who you ride with or what your position is. They just throw you in to fill in gaps, and it was 20 minutes in line and done with the ride. So highly, highly recommend doing a single rider if you don't need to ride with the people you're with. This was neat too. That is the green and blue milk stand. We do get green milk later on. It is coconut rice something. Coconut milk rice something. It's tropical flavored too. But as you will see shortly, these droids are on the corner of the droid building. Oh my gosh. The droid building. This right here with this woman is the line for the non-reservations. This is the inside of the droid building. It was really neat because it felt like a very mismatched, Mod Podge droid part shop, yet it was very, well, I won't say totally streamlined, but they do have the process down pretty well. I am going to stop doing the voiceover for this section so that you can not only hear our comments, but so that you can hear the cast members' explanations and directions as well. But Bryant and I built a droid, BB-42.
I like the black and white one too. I like the, ooh, this one looks cool. This one looks like a soccer ball. Over there.
Back, down, up, forward. This one turns its head, and this is my favorite button. It's for the accessories. The jetpack, the toolkit, the blaster, all that stuff. Make sure that works. Is he going in a box or a backpack? Okay. Yep, put the little peg in first, and then push down real hard. There you go. Got it. So, what kind of droid does the young man have? What droid did he get? So, did you download the app Training Code? Definitely download the app Training Code. It is an awesome thing.
Awesome, so we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and start with our first instruction, which is just down here. We are going to get the coils for inside your motivator, which is this part right here. So we have a couple of colors for you to choose from. We have black, we have red, we have blue. What color would you want?
I'll go with black.
I gotcha. So this is going to be your brand new droid. You're going to go ahead and put the leg backwards, feet forward, this one backwards. That's going to go in go mode. Now this is going to go forwards and backwards right here. This is your sound button right there. This is head movement left and right, body movement left and right. Go ahead and try it out for a bit. Be very careful, buddy. We got our black power coils right here. Now, on the inside of your motivator, there is a power switch right there. We do not want to block it with a coil. There is a personality chip slot right there. We do not want to block it with a coil either. So we're going to go just like that on that side, on each side, okay? There you go. Go for it right there. I think it works. Awesome. Yeah. Perfect. So once you're outside, you can go ahead and connect your droid through the app. You'll be able to play games with your droid as well as make it go with your go. Now your droid is gonna move on itself. It is just happening. It's just interacting with everything around it. Okay. There is a switch on the bottom. You can turn off if you like. Okay. On the bottom, just right here. Awesome. Let me go ahead and get that for you. I am going to turn this on, so once we put it in, it doesn't go crazy on the inside, okay? So to put it back in, you're going to put the leg backwards, forward, and then it goes in here. I'm going to put it inside as well, okay? Or you can put it in.
Okay.
There you go. Now there is a little window you can go ahead and pop out if you like. Since it's raining,
Pop it out now, I can't get it back in.
Yeah. So it's right here if you want to take it off later on. Okay, but you're all set. You did great today, buddy. You're almost there, almost there. Hello there, travelers. Come on over. Go ahead and take everything out of the basket for me, please.
that way.
It'll be a lot easier for you. Awesome. Let's go ahead and verify this really quick. Doing fantastic, my friend. You're going to go ahead and take the head, put it on top of the body for me. I don't know what. Good to go? You got it? I just got here. Wow. How do you feel about your droid, man?
I love it.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Ready to activate?
Yeah.
Do it. Activating. Go ahead and activate right there. So how's it going? I think it's good to go. Let me see. Push down on it.
BB42.
There we go. We got it. Good to go with your droid. Go ahead and follow that second and third step as well. We're going to put that leg in the middle right there. And we're almost done with your droid. It should be initializing any second now. Awesome. You activated your droid panel. Good job. So this is your brand new baby or BB unit, whichever one you want to call it. Now your BB unit does have a remote right here. This is the front of your droid, so if you press that go button, it is going to roll around. It is very fast. It is very wobbly, so be very careful with it. Now if you're not looking that way, that's going to go backwards. Now these two buttons right here are going to be your sound buttons and light buttons. And these four buttons are going to do the same thing, which is body movement left and body movement right.
Okay.
There you go. Try it out for a good pound. Yeah,
Perfect. You're going to be moving to...
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. So they just finished building your droid. They're on the third step right now.
Yep, the next thing is just the head. So once you put it on, it doesn't go on immediately. You just kind of twist until it starts to set in.
I know.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Ready for his box?
Yeah. Alrighty here.
Put him in first. Alright, yeah, see that? I'm just gonna turn the remote off for right now.
It's spinning because his head's been done. I hate that.
Alright. Thank you.
Some cast members dressed up as stormtroopers. Note the clouds. Do you remember when the sky was absolutely blue, like 30 minutes to an hour ago? That changed rather quickly. We managed to get some green milk, and then...
It's pretty good. Coconut race milk.
And then the rain fell. We got poured on. We were drenched. It started raining when we were walking. We ran to hide under one of those tents, and then we realized we were still getting wet. So we went under this awning and waited here for a little while. But then I ended up using the box that our droid came in as a head covering. We went to the shop area and we bought rain ponchos. I never thought I would willingly wear a rain poncho, especially at Disney, but it was a necessity, and it ended up being very, very convenient so that our stuff and me didn't get wet. This was us sort of regrouping before we went to the marketplace.
Hey, buddy. Turn him off. We are getting soaked.
While it was raining, we went to a show. This was a short from Mickey and Minnie, and it was in this cute little theater. Then we had reservations for the Rise of the Resistance ride. So these you also need to reserve. You will probably not be able to get on this ride unless you have a reservation.
About to do Rise of the Resistance.
I'm wearing a poncho. Never thought I'd be wearing a rain poncho.
You have to wake up at 6 a.m. to reserve your Rise of the Resistance spot, and if you don't get it at 6 a.m., you can try again at 1 p.m. for the afternoon. We were group 61, I think.
Black Leader, are you and your team ready?
Affirmative. Engines are hot. Red 2, Blue 5, report. Red 2, check.
Blue 5 standing by.
Affirmative. Engage.
What's amazing about the Disney rides is that every single ride and show has a story to it. So absolutely immersive. You genuinely feel like you are a part of this story, and the videos do not do this justice. It was amazing, and you will see in this next clip just how cool it was to go on this ride. Highly, highly, highly recommend.
Ensure your entire unit stays together on the same side.
So what was really cool about this ride is that the cast members were Empire employee type people, so they were actually very rude and mean to the people waiting in line to go on this ride, which was fitting for the story. So they would call people out for giggling, they would sort of be rude to people so that people would actually feel like we were hostages on the ship and that they were actual Empire workers. Nothing too mean though. So this was us waiting, and then after this we got onto a little pod, which was basically free moving. It wasn't on a track and just kind of swept around, and this ride had so many different elements to it. I'm just going to shut up for the next part. Bryant took this video because I was trying to really be in the moment. It's amazing.
Did it work? Good. Now get a move on. There's a clear path to the turbo lifts at the end of the hallway. Turn right. Droid, you're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, there goes to the prisoner. Immigration attention 1-3.
Your cover is blown. Find an alternate route. Who picked these two droids anyway? Detention TFT.
Take cover, recruits! If anyone's packing a blaster, now's a good time. Ah! The escape pod's the boss! Wait, why are you going up? I said down, up is bad. Up is real bad.
The resistance will attempt to rescue the prisoners.
They have neither the resources nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations! Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Abandon ship. I repeat, abandon ship. This destroyer's about to...
Your efforts are wasted. You cannot escape me. Your precious resistance is about to be destroyed under the floor.
Okay, you're clear.
Your escape pods came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck.
All right, nice job, recruits. Not what you signed on for, but hey, your resistance now. I think I have that authority. Right, Beck? Where's the lieutenant? I need eyes on Beck. Rhino, scout for his pop beacon.
More escape pods down in Sector 4. Verification pending from key command personnel.
Lieutenant Beck here.
Beck! You're alive!
I should hope so. Great job, recruits. Thanks to your heroism, the location of the resistance base is secure. Bravo!
Watching this video over, like I said, will bring me to tears because it was just such an incredible experience. Like no other.
That was amazing. Oh my gosh. What an experience, yeah.
Then we had a reservation at Mama Melrose's, which was an Italian place. We made the reservations 2 months in advance, as with all our reservations for dining during our trip. The reservations do open 60 days before the date, so something to keep in mind if you're planning. Then we went to Toy Story Land.
Hey, howdy, hey! I'm Sheriff Woody. Come on in. I can't wait for the rest of the toys to meet you.
You sound like my game that's good. The little leprechaun game I play. He said you want some more? You want some more? Can you find over here?
Oh, cool. This is so fun. Look at the G.I. Joe dolls.
And then dinosaur toy up there. That's Rex.
My video game experience never
Slinky dog! Slinky dog!
Toy Story Land was really cool because there was just so much oversized regular objects and it was so colorful that it was just fun to look at. We did not spend a lot of time here on the rides and whatnot, but we did want to make sure we went on the Slinky ride, which had a pretty significant wait the entire day, so I think when we got in line it was maybe 50-minute posted time. We'll see when we get to that video clip, but we did wait pretty much that whole time, and it's not that it wasn't worth it. I mean, it's a good roller coaster and it's classic Slinky and we love Toy Story, but it's not the most, it's always put it this way. Compared to the Star Wars rides, it wasn't much. But I mean, not a lot is going to compare to that because the fandom is so huge and the fanfare of the universe is so extravagant. But Toy Story Land, super cool. I imagine it would be amazing too if you had children. There are the little alien from the claw machine. Their ride is under those UFO type awning things. We did go on that ride later, but my recommendation is do not wait in line for those. We'll talk more about that later. But Hollywood Studios is amazing if you love Toy Story or Star Wars. If you're not into either of those, then Hollywood Studios might be a park hop type of park for you. You might not want to spend the entire day there because it does very much cater to fans of Star Wars and Toy Story. But we enjoyed it. I took a lot of videos of us waiting in line because there was, oh my god, there's sirens. There's sirens in the background now. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. I took a lot of videos of our wait for the Slinky ride because everything was just so much fun to look at. Everything just felt like a giant toy, like even the thumbtacks were large, even the ride roof looked like a children's toy package. It was so neat. There was a lot to look at, and like I think I mentioned this in another video, but pretty much every ride had like a game that you could play about it on their Disney app. So a lot of the times Bryant would bring up the game for the particular ride while we were waiting. At this point, let me tell you, my shoulders were killing me from carrying around our backpacks, or my backpack, and my legs were so sore. Not from walking, they actually felt less sore when we were walking. It was the standing still in line that made my legs hurt so much. And I wore sandals on this day, so my feet were wet pretty much the entire time we were there because the sandals were very absorbent underneath my feet, and I had pruny toes all day, which was not the worst, but you know, I didn't ultimately pay too much attention to my feet that day, but oh my gosh, by the end of this day, my legs were deceased. I did not want to move or stand ever again. Those people, I think, were walking up for the accessibility access or something. I don't know. Some people had fast passes, other people were able to jump ahead of the line because of accessibility issues. This was cute. I love the crayon-like drawing on the side. I love the giant Elmer's glue. This was the game that Bryant was playing. Again, love the giant toys, the Yahtzee board game, all the colorful wooden blocks. Very cool, but overall it was just a standard children's roller coaster. But it was fun, and I didn't take any videos of us on it, but it was over somewhat quickly, but we really enjoyed it. It went up and down a lot, kind of like in a fun... Yeah. This is the end of the ride. The talking penguin and the tape player. It was cute. It was fun. If you can get on it for a slower wait, or for... Oh my god. If you can get on it for a lesser wait time, I recommend doing it. But yes, loved the Scrabble tiles for the restroom sign. There's a giant buzz. The Invader Alien type ride, do not wait for it. We went on it at the very end of the day, right before the park closed. There was no wait, basically. We just had to wait for the cycle to end. And the ride was, well, it was kind of boring. You know, it was not very fun. It was kind of rickety, and it just spun us in figure 8 type circles. You will see that at the end of this video. Then we went back to Galaxy's Edge because, well, we liked it and we wanted to try our hand at the Smuggler's Run, I think. I can't really remember what order we did things, but we did go on Smuggler's Run, which was the Millennium Falcon ride as single riders. I mentioned that earlier. Highly recommend doing a single rider because your wait time is drastically shortened. This next clip is Star Tours.
Lots of Star Wars today. We just did the Smuggler's Run as single riders and got on and off in about 20 minutes as opposed to an hour wait in the typical line, I guess it is. Look at this, so cool. It's basically Star Wars Studios.
Star Tours is just another ride. It's kind of like a show, but kind of like a ride. You're in a almost theater type seating situation in a room with maybe 20 other people, if that. But the thing is that you're touring this planet or something like that. It was pretty cool. The wait was pretty short. I think we waited 20 minutes, but it had a pretty short wait time throughout the day, and it was enjoyable, and it was another thing to do inside, away from the rain and the heat, and it was Star Wars, so it was really neat. Yeah, I got a lot of videos of the queue, but then I didn't get any of the ride, and then, oh, now we hop to Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railroad car, which was another cool ride. It was a lot like Rise of the Resistance ride, where we're just in a sort of free-roaming pod, and it sweeps across the ground and doesn't appear to be on a track, although it is clearly very automated and deliberate in where it goes. But it was really neat because there were these really bright 2D projections on everything, or I don't know how they did it, but everything looked 2D and it was so neat. I didn't really get a clip of much of the ride, just this end here, and it was neat. We waited a significant time for it, maybe 40, 50 minutes, but it was worth it. Yes. And that's the beginning where we got on it. Here we are at the Alien ride. Like I mentioned, we waited for the group of people in front of us to finish riding, and then we were admitted to the ride. This was pretty much at, I think it was 8 o'clock, which is when the park closes. I could be wrong about that, but I remember it as being 8 o'clock. So we got in line at like 7:59. We rushed here so fast to get on it before it ended, and I am so glad we did not wait 40 plus minutes like it was at when we first went through Toy Story Land, because it would be such a disappointment to spend that much time waiting in line and then to go on this ride. It was not very smooth. I mean, it was okay. It was cooler to videotape it than it was to actually be on the ride. But that being said, no regrets. Still glad we went on it. It's always nice to end the day with a no-wait, fun ride that isn't the most thrilling ride ever, but is just another ride you can say you went on. So it was nice and it was fun and it was okay. Even the Coca-Cola snack machine, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
He must know we're leaving his home.
He's like, don't leave.
So that was our day at Hollywood Studios. Like I said, at this point my legs were killing me. We also had gone into these shops that we're walking by earlier on, as we had some time to kill and some air conditioning to soak up, so there are a lot of shopping opportunities at Hollywood Studios as well, as one would imagine. And then footage of BB-42 at the resort room. That's so cool.
Yeah, I won't do too much when the room below us, but it's really cool.
It's gonna be so much fun to play with when we get home. BB-42.
BB-42.
And other spoils.
Alright folks, thanks for watching. I will have one more video up after this, and it will primarily be our voyage home and a little bit of a Disney souvenir haul video. So thanks for watching, stay tuned for that, and have a great rest of your day.